All right, guys, we are on possibly our next project. I'm not sure. We're not starting today, and I'll tell you why. This is a very odd spot, potential job. All right, so this is the pond that the customer sees the beavers in. This pond has no creek running into it, but on the back side back here there are some branches, a creek, and a couple of shoot offs of it, and then further back this way the creek wraps around. So there is a creek here. Historically, they've had a bunch of beaver problems here before throughout the years, but all the dams are currently gone. This customer is on this property every day, and pretty much whenever he sees a dam starting, he rips it out. But like I said, the dams are popping up in these little creeks that are around the property. The only time the customer sees the beavers in the pond is when, I assume, they're coming over here and they're chewing these sticks. That's when he sees them. So you got a couple sticks right here, another stick here, and there are a few, like two good size feed beds on this bank of the pond. So here's one right here, but there's no creek back here. There's no creek, so you can look and see some stobs, but nothing super fresh. This is what I would say is an old slide. You know, you can kind of make out where they were crossing. Old feed bed. Okay, y'all can see this pond is very clean. You may not be able to see in the camera, but I can see the bottom about 15 feet out all the way around this pond. There is not a banked in on this pond, so, which is odd that they'd be. To me, it's odd, you know, because there's no home. It just seems like they're spending a lot of time here eating. They did at some point, you know. I mean, that's a good sized feed bed right there. But there's no fresh sign on the ground. And there's one other spot down here that's pretty much just like that, where you can tell where they were crossing over at some point, you know. And this is lowland, okay? This is low-lying land. There is some standing water, but I wouldn't say it's a swamp at all. It's just some standing water back here. Here's another little feed bed, you know, right there. But the problem is, I don't know where these beavers are really coming from. I have an idea. Back here behind me, several hundred yards, are a couple of ponds that are very marshy. I haven't laid eyes on them. I can just see them on Onyx and Google Earth, and they look very marshy. All of the feed beds are on this side of the pond. All of the sporadic chewings that I'm seeing are on this side of the pond. The one little creek that's back here, I mean, and it's little. So there's a decent sized creek, and then there's a drainage ditch that they plug up. And it's like 2 foot wide. I mean, it's small. The creek's on a good size, but the drainage ditch they're plugging up is pretty small. My theory is right now is they're coming from these ponds, and they're just sporadically pushing out this way. I mean, y'all have seen my previous videos. And then some of you seasoned trappers, I mean, you know, if this was heavily active, I mean, that crossing would be dirt. There would be stobs everywhere, right? There would be bank dens in here. So they're not staying in this pond. The only thing I can figure out is that they come out here at some point. I don't know at what point, but they come out here at some point and they just chew on these sticks. Again, I haven't seen any spot along this pond that I would classify as a bank den. I mean, I can see to the bottom of it. There's no bank den on this pond. So, but you do have these feed piles that some of them are, I mean, some of them I wouldn't classify as small. Some of them are on the larger side. So I'm really scratching my head on this one. There's no active dam on the property right now. No active dam anywhere because, like I said, the customer stays on this property and is here pretty much every day. So anytime he comes across a dam that's starting, he tears it out. So there's no active dam that we can work with. This is the only other crossing that I found. So you can see some of the feed sticks, feed pile right here. But I mean, nothing fresh, guys. Nothing super fresh. Like I said, I mean, we know what a fresh run looks like. And now you can see where they've got something going through there. I mean, deer probably use that and everything too. But there are some stubs out through there. But I just don't think that they're staying here. So it's kind of scratching my head on how to handle this, because obviously the customer is seeing beavers out here. Obviously beavers are out here because we see their feed beds. But there's no dams out here that we can work with. There's no active crossovers that we can work with. He's keeping the dams knocked down. So I told him my advice would just be to wait until the activity picks up again, until they start building the dam. And once they start building that dam on one of these little creeks back here, to call me back. So there's no little feed pile. And then we would start trapping that active dam that they're working on. That's the only thing that makes sense for me to do, because the only other thing that I could do right now is put in a caster set, you know, randomly on this pond. I mean, it would just be, I would just put it on this side, obviously, because that's where all the activity is. But I just don't think he'd get the best bang for his buck if we started trapping right now. See the feed bed right there. That's just my thoughts really on this one. You guys that are seasoned beaver trappers, been doing it for a long time, let me know your thoughts on that. I mean, that's pretty much the only thing I could do, is I could put in a couple of caster sets and see what happens. But we don't even know if beavers are in this pond right now. I mean, all this is fairly old sign, and there's no fresh slides or crossovers, right? And the thing is, they're not crossing over into anything. I mean, they're coming from planted pines is what's back here. So the nearest creek is a little ditch, and it's through planted pines. Very odd. Very odd. Like I said, you can see some stops out there, but they're not fresh and they're not concentrated. It's just random. The other thing that made me want to tell the customer to wait was there was a major flood right here, and all the big creek that runs through the property, there's just debris everywhere. Whole trees washed into the creek and stuff. I mean, just I really feel like the beavers are disrupted right now, their behavior and stuff. So that was the other reason why I told him that we should wait to start. See, I mean, another random feed stick. I mean, I'm not saying that beavers don't spend time here. I mean, obviously they do. See, so this bush had been chewed at some point, but it's not fresh. I mean, obviously they spend time here, but it ain't a lot, you know? I mean, it's not a lot at all. So, I don't know. I mean, this video is really just basically me asking trappers, I guess I should say. Because I really don't feel like my customer would get the best bang for his buck if I started right now. So at this point, we're gonna head out. We're gonna let the customer keep an eye on it. And I told him as soon as they started damming up the creek that's near here, another little feed pile, but no crossover. As soon as they start damming up the little creek that's near here, he can call me then. And I can come back out here and set up some traps. I offered to put cameras out, and he said he wanted to wait until I came with traps. So we're not gonna really see what's going on. I would have liked to put a couple of cameras out here just to kind of have eyes on the place while I'm not here. See, I mean, that feed bed goes from there to right here, and then it kind of keeps going on. So they're spending time here, but even all this material that they're chewing up, I don't know where they're getting it from, because it's not in one spot. They're not, I mean, it's just a stop here, a stop there, just very random. Normally, if beavers are living in an area, it's gonna be laid down. I mean, there's gonna be chewings on everything, and there ain't chewings on nothing. There's just stops. So, let's look right here. This may be the spot that I pointed out earlier. Yeah. So, I don't know if y'all can see it. I want to try and zoom in. My camera's kind of messed up. Let's see if we can zoom in. So, right there. Y'all see that yellow stop? There's 3 stobs right there. That's the most concentrated spot that I've found today, is those 3 right there. And we saw that on the side by side when we were riding that cut lane right there. And again, there's no water back here. There's a little drainage ditch back here somewhere, and then there's a creek beside that, but you can't tell any kind of activity on that creek because of the flood that just happened. So it's like that they haven't had time to get back in a routine since this flood, which was just like last week, I think he said. He did tell me that he busted a dam 3 days ago in that drainage, but that drainage is starting to get really close to those ponds that are way back there that I told y'all about. So I really think that the problem is originating from the big ponds, the marshy ponds that are back here in the back, and you just have beavers that are coming out sporadically into my customer's pond. That's my idea. So that's it, guys. I mean, I don't even know what else to say. I've walked this pond several times looking for a banked in. There's no banked in. There's no heavy spot where they're chewing. I mean, there's not even a spot where they're, I mean, normally you're gonna find a big tree or something. You can see where they girdled it. I mean, there's nothing. There's just nothing. There's just a couple of stobs every now and then that they chewed up. But it's just odd that the feed beds are so big in this pond. That part's scratching my head. You would think that with the feed beds being that big, that they would be staying in the pond. And you would also think that there would be an area where they're chewing at, which I couldn't find the area that they're chewing at. It's just sporadic, like I've said. So we're gonna let it be. The customer's gonna keep an eye on it and get back with me, and we'll go from there. But as of right now, we're gonna let it be, and we'll see what happens. So y'all stay tuned. This is gonna be an interesting one for sure. All I could have done was put caster sets on here, and we're not even sure. I mean, it could be weeks before they come back. I don't know. But anyway, that's a wrap. Kind of an odd video. I mean, normally we have a game plan whenever we go to a property, but no game plan here except what I've showed you, and it don't feel like much of a game plan. Has me scratching my head for sure. So we'll see you all on the next one, and y'all be good.